Welcome to the Happy Friday America show. Really excited. We're about to bring in the weekend with a lot of fun articles. You know, sometimes it's in America, sometimes it might be across the pond. Either way, we're bringing in that fun energy. I like to call it funergy to bring in the weekend strong. And you know who brings in the show? That's the Fricashinas with the Happy Friday anthem. Let's get it stuck on our heads. Thank God it's Friday. And I am Arthur. You know, my boy, Mr. High Rev Kev, is across the table from me.
Happy Friday, America. Great to see everybody. Thanks for joining us again here on the Discussion Combustion Happy Friday America YouTube channel. Be sure to mash that subscribe button so you never miss one of these fun episodes. We're always having a good time. We're into September. The weather's cooling off. Fairs are happening. Just so much fun is happening around America. Let's go, Art.
Let's go, and let's bring in the energy right. So when we want to wrangle up something, sometimes we need to go to the southern states, and here we're in Texas.
Oh, Treehouse, one of my favorite states. I'll be down there in 2 weeks for a little bit of NASCAR action, but I'll tell you what's going on this week down in Texas. So I found an article that was pretty funny. We like to talk about animals that get loose on this program. I guess we need to bring awareness to the amount of animals that get out. We had a bull that was on the loose a while ago. You know, we got dogs. We got bears sneaking in. Yeah. We got a lot of things going on. Well, this week we got pint-sized goats. That's right, pint-sized goats. If you know what a pint-sized goat is, be sure to leave a comment down below on what that actually means.
I didn't know what it actually meant prior to a conversation, so I think that's good to call out.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how many folks know what that actually means. So I'm gonna leave it at that and just keep calling it the pint size and not refer to what actual size that is.
Okay. I'm with you there. I'll stay with you.
So yeah, there was a call that came in right down in Harris County in the Texas area about a loose animal situation. They got animals on the loose. So 2 deputies responded to it and had to round up these 2 pint-sized goats that were just having a good time, just out on the loose, roaming the streets of well, it was kind of a small country town out there in Texas. But the good news is that the deputies were able to wrangle these things up and return them to the proper owner.
I mean, goats have a good time. They're always trying to jump up on top of something. So I wonder if it would actually be easier to find goats than like the bull. How'd the bull disappear?
We never heard an update on that.
So with the goats, are they're trying to find the highest object around? They're like hanging out so you could see their silhouettes on top of buildings. Like, I wonder where they found them.
Well, and what's cool about these kind of size goats is like they do goat yoga and stuff. That's a big thing, especially here.
That's a huge clue, Kev.
It is a huge clue, but for folks that don't know what that is, it's kind of big out here in the West. I don't know how much folks do it on the East Coast, but up in like Boulder in that area here in Colorado, a lot of folks do like morning goat yoga because I guess that the way that they stand on you kind of helps your posture and in these positions and things like that. I've never done it. It's not really my thing, but I thought this was a kind of a fun article. The goats
yoga or goat yoga you've never done?
I've never done. Well, I've done yoga. I haven't done goat yoga. Remember, I did a show on Discussion Combustion where I was introduced to yoga, and I did it right here on this floor.
I mean, I would say that was like a training opportunity. I mean, that
it was
counts.
A yoga pose. I got credit for it.
That counts, and she did actually, and she.
So I did well.
She did. So actually, yes, I'll give that to you.
We have proof on this YouTube channel that I've done some yoga, but I haven't done goat yoga.
No, me neither. I haven't done goat yoga. I did Pilates. I don't really feel like I've ever championed yoga. But stretch your body, move it around. Somebody who's actually really good at stretching their body, moving on to the next one, is a 44-year-old marathon runner. And this guy actually attempted to run to London, okay? So a Florida man, could have guessed, is arrested after trying to cross the Atlantic in a hamster wheel. Kev, I know you had a chance to look at this. What are your thoughts? And then I'll come back in.
I just think, when you read the headline, it's silly enough, which is kind of what this program is all about. But, to think about, we had a conversation with our neighbor about this last night, the dangers that are involved, let alone taking, a massive vessel across the Atlantic, the waves and the currents and the hurricane season that's going on.
Oh, my gosh.
There's just a lot of risks out there. So to try to cross the Atlantic in a hamster wheel is extremely dangerous, number one.
Yeah.
And the Coast Guard had to apprehend him. And this wasn't his first go at it. He's tried to do things like this in the past. We'll see if he wants to give it another go. But, man, you wouldn't catch me out there doing that.
So I really got this was his third attempt. Okay, he's had 3 similar voyages before, and he refused to get out of his vessel, quote unquote, for 3 days. Okay, so he was being very reluctant. He almost made it about 70 miles, so he got pretty far out there. And they say that this thing was held together by wiring and buoys. I mean, come on, man. we got to be safer than that. I don't know. Maybe we bring in like a weekly Florida man piece, something like that. Like in this week's Florida man or woman has been up to this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just ballsy. The third attempt, refusing for. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I can't believe. It's extremely dangerous too.
Well, it is. And a lot of folks are going, why is it illegal?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's because of a lot of reasons. I mean, you have to have specific licensing to be able to operate anything that's going out. I mean, it's one thing to sit on a float 100 feet from the shoreline at the beach. It's another to take this apparatus 70 miles
to the Atlantic.
East into the Atlantic. I mean, it's going to get dicey out there. You got shipping lanes, you've got massive cargo ships, you got cruise ships, like I said, weather conditions,
rogue waves.
I mean, just the fact I wouldn't attempt this, man. That's a death sentence if you ask me. I mean, you can get in serious trouble out there.
Yeah, I don't think he would have quite made it. I honestly, I mean, well, you get stranded in one storm out there.
Yeah. Well, and what kind? I mean, did he have any sort of GPS with him? Did he have obviously didn't have any way to like charge his cell phone or anything like that. So he had no idea where he was even going.
Yeah.
He was just, let's see how far I can go.
Yeah, he could have ended up. I mean, I would like to think that he had GPS or something. Like he was able to adjust his vessel, his hamster wheel vessel.
Well, and the thing is, though, when you look at the latitude from Florida, because I'm assuming that's where he went east of, he would have had to trek north on the latitude to get to. Ultimately, he wanted to go to London. So if he had launched from kind of my neck of the woods, Boston, and in that area, I think he would have had a better shot at going straight.
Yeah.
Just like an article we covered a few weeks ago, the folks that dropped a SOS in a bottle, it went from Ireland to New Jersey. It's more of a lateral move across the globe.
Yeah, more horizontal line on the axes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have talked a little bit about this before.
Yep.
But this was northeast. We were talking Jersey before.
Correct.
It looks like people love putting profanity up on public street signs.
Look, Houston, you're the victim this week. This is, I guess, Texas and Florida just make the cut here a lot. So, those construction signs you always see when you're cruising down the road that usually say, hey, situation ahead, keep right, whatever's going on. Well, somebody found a way to hack these. The difference was the ones that were in Jersey kind of had like other things going on with it.
I feel like Jersey's was employees doing it.
I think it probably was.
So this was a hacker situation.
This was a hacker situation. He got in there. And so, I mean, it's kind of funny. So, basically, the thing that popped up was due to weather, and then the next thing was go fuck yourself, which is pretty funny.
I do like that, actually. I would laugh.
Because it was probably like due to weather, this road's closed.
Yeah.
Due to weather, use this lane. But no, he hacked in and said, due to weather, go fuck yourself.
I think that's a classic. I mean, because it got to somebody. Like, instead of just having a light heart and like a fun spirit and just reading that and being like, okay, yeah, that's one of those days. You got somebody that got really super upset out there and had to call it in. That's what happened.
Well, and of course, once they're trying to get to the bottom of it, the Houston Public Works said, well, we don't operate the sign. We don't have anything involved with it. And they don't know who actually did it.
So this hacker is still at large.
He's a mysterious hacker.
Liable to put more profanity on a street sign near you.
Yes. And if you have any information about that, get in touch with your local Houston PD for more.
Yes, and they might have many questions for you while it's happening. Speaking of questions, let's jump into this week's Would You Rather question, okay?
This has become a hot segment on this show.
It's fun, and if you don't know, we do polls on this, so hop onto X, aka Twitter, or, leave a comment in YouTube and answer the Would You Rather question. So for this week's Would You Rather live on a boat or in a treehouse? And we kind of had a conversation about this, so what are the rules here, Kev?
Well, I think it could be any kind of treehouse you want. Running water, electricity, as big as you want. There's obviously going to be some sort of architectural things that go into this, but, we're having a hypothetical would you rather here. So the treehouse can be whatever you want. So don't just be confined to like a boyhood treehouse where you got to climb up a rope or something.
Yeah.
This thing can be epic.
Like a mansion treehouse.
A mansion treehouse with hot tubs,
Okay.
whatever you want in it. And so
helipads, everything.
You can go full send, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, depending on how you want to build that in the trees. And then on the boat side, same thing. A yacht, massive yacht, whatever you want on that. It can be just essentially a floating house, a floating mansion across the ocean. I'm taking the boat, Art. I'm going with the boat.
Going nautical. And there is a good argument to both. I've been hearing some, because I'll bring these questions up prior to recording, see what kind of feedback I can get.
Kind of test the waters a bit.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
smell the leaves.
Smell the leaves.
I don't know if that's even a saying.
Smell the trees, smell the leaves.
Stop and smell the leaves. Well, it is fall, so come on. Well, almost fall. It's almost fall.
The foliage is coming.
It's coming. I can't wait. It's so beautiful. I know it's not your favorite time of the year, but
It's not my least favorite.
I've had some people actually choose the mansion treehouse. There's a concern for hurricanes, crazy weather. So personally, if I'm going to go treehouse, then it's going to be like a wooded area that is somewhat close to society and, a wonderful place to live. If I'm going boat, it's obviously going to be a yacht type of situation, like a mega boat. And I'm going to be hanging out in all the awesome marinas around the world. So with that in consideration, I'm going nautical too. I'm nautical on this one. I'm going boat.
I'm going to take the same. I mean, I thought about the treehouse option too because you bring up some good points there as well. But, I mean, the structural integrity of this property would have to be sound. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you're not going to be up there in rickety 2x4s, reading comic
how
books.
Cool would it be to have, like, a treehouse that was in, like, the redwoods and it's way high
That's
up
epic.
And you're hanging out up there and it's extremely strong and safe and you're just kind of up in the trees and it's sturdy and you have, like, an elevator that takes you up. Like, no kidding, that would be freaking cool, too.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't even know if something like that exists right now. I'm sure there's epic tree houses out there. Epic. I've seen them on Airbnb and things like that, but they're a little bit more, what would you say, rudimentary?
Rudimentary, yeah. So I honestly think like the architecture and the floor plan behind a treehouse is more interesting, and I think that overall construction is really cool. But as far as, convenience, seeing the world, and having availability to go to any marina, I got to go boat, yacht.
Oh, hands down.
We got to go nautical on that one.
We got to stay sea level so we can keep it moving for sure, man. No, I like it.
Yeah, so what do you all think out there? What are you going to choose? The boat, or are you going to choose the treehouse?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know. Twitter, X, or comment down below here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. What do we got next? We got a 600 gallons of red wine.
600,000.
600,000 gallons, thank you, of red wine flowing through a Portuguese town after a spill, and it triggers environmental warning. So sometimes we'll grab some articles from across the pond, and in this one I'm going to butcher the name of this town. So this happened in São Lourenço do Barrio. It's a coastal Portugal. So the people here, they were left stunned. There's 2,000 people that live in this town, and this booze, there was tanks that had issues with them. They busted open. It's a river running through this town of wine, and if it would have reached the local rivers that are actually in the area, then it would have actually caused an environmental issue. And the Dia Fire Department, they really came in and saved the day. They blocked off the flood. They diverted it into a nearby field. And overall, a crazy story. I mean, you just think about the amount of wine. They say it could fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So it was massive.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it in perspective, that's just a lot of wine. It's a lot of, it's a lot of vino coming through. Mm-hmm. And you got to think, man, when you're dealing with a small town like that, as it's running in, the smell alone. The smell of wine is very potent, and I think that was probably, pretty alarming to the residents having to smell that as it's rushing through their community there. Because that, man, two Olympic-sized swimming pools, 300,000 gallons each. That's a lot of liquid. I don't care what it is, man. That's crazy. So, kind of an odd story for sure. Just a one-off situation. I've never heard of something like this happening. I mean, I'm sure that there's been wineries before or production facilities that have caved in, collapsed, whatever, and fluids have moved around. But hopefully they get this cleaned up, and obviously they're taking responsibility and are going to cover some of the costs to clean this up. Yeah, the
Lavira distillery out there, they did assume full responsibility for this, mishap, and it happened. Just imagine. Not a person in this town, but let's imagine it's like the street cat. The street cat's like out there just chilling. It's like hanging out, like getting a little curious about something, and then all of a sudden,
massive amounts of wine.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just comes rushing down the cobblestone.
It almost sounds like a cartoon,
does.
Or like one of those, like a movie situation. But man, that's pretty wild for sure. That's a lot of vino right there.
That is. I wonder what that cost the company. Well, just losing the wine itself. and not including the damages and like paying for all the public services and all that. So it ended up being pretty
It's a
spendy.
very expensive situation, and hopefully they have some good insurance to cover those damages.
Absolutely. So we're jumping into one of our favorite segments here on Happy Friday America.
Kev's Random Records.
Yes.
Yes. If you all don't know, I love records, and
Yes.
they're just kind of fun. As a kid, I loved scrolling through the Guinness Book of World Record books. I'd go to the library and look through those. They'd come out every year, and we get excited about them. And so I like to see these records coming out. So this week on Kev's Random Records, we have a Cockatoo that beats a speed record on a pint-sized scooter. That's right. Second time you've heard pint-sized.
What's going on with that this week? What?
It's just a pint-sized ep, I guess.
It's all your articles, too. What's going on?
Our solid lads across the pond, maybe have a pint while you listen to the pint-sized things. So, 7-year-old cockatoo. A cockatoo is a pretty cool looking little bird.
Okay.
It's like I think it's a cousin, or it's a part of the parrot family.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. I'm not a bird expert.
No. What would a bird expert be called?
Probably a bird expert.
No, there has to be like a scientific name for birds. Like, an arborist is like a tree expert.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the bird expert would be called.
Probably something like a dinosaur expert.
Well, that's the same thing I'm saying here. But in any case, this bird, pretty cool. So the previous record was 5 meters or 16.4 feet in 17.79 seconds.
Okay.
On the tiny scooter. I don't even know how they came up with this, but it's just such a cool record. So now he beat it. He did the same distance in 14.58 seconds, which is pretty impressive. He shaved. We're talking racing. That's a significant increase in time right there.
That is.
So he was dialed in, and he was ready to keep this thing moving right along. Very easily smashed the Guinness Book of World Record, and now we have a cockatoo that broke it. Pretty cool stuff, man.
So, the bird is feeling the human energy in this interaction, in this thing, right? So do you feel like the bird knows? Do you feel like the bird feels like it's the champ right now?
I think he knows.
What do you think?
I think he knows because of how the excitement. Like when he beat it, everyone was like, "Oh, he got it!"
Oh,
and the bird's like, "Oh, I did something cool."
Yeah, the bird probably started yeah.
They're pretty smart.
Yeah.
Say fuck. Something along those lines.
No, that's fun. So, it's like how bulldogs like to ride. Like why do the bulldogs ride like skateboards?
They love it.
Like it's not all the dogs don't do this.
Yeah, that's
though.
true. The English bulldog you do see a lot of them on skateboards.
Yeah. So what's up with that?
And they're just tongue hanging out.
So is a cockatoo just like a natural scooter rider?
I think it might be.
What's going on? Like animals just love certain. They have fun just like we do.
It's pretty cool. So definitely scroll down to the link down below in the show notes and watch the video because this little cockatoo is ripping tater chipping.
That's so much fun. Oh man. So today in history, September 15th. What's going on here? We found a couple cool ones. I had to grab this from 1978. Muhammad Ali, the champ. He actually won the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship for the 3rd time in his victory against Leon Spinks.
That's epic.
That is crazy, man. 1978.
Probably one of the greatest fighters of all time. Just an epic, life, epic. All the accomplishments that Muhammad Ali did. That's pretty cool that it happened right here on September 15th, 1978. I'm going to take it back a little further, Art, back to September 15th, 1916. Going back to World War I, this was the first time that the tank was used in combat by the British. That was a huge innovation to war. And, I know you're kind of a war buff and you watch a lot of old stuff.
A little bit.
You've probably seen some of this.
Yeah, and it's really... I like the today on history. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, that did happen. It's a good reminder, right? So, and the advancements and just where we've come since 1916. It's almost 110 years since then.
Yeah.
So time's cruising, man. And
the
tank's been out and about on this day. So we're gonna jump almost more current, not really, but 1984.
Great year.
1984 is a great year, and Prince Harry of Wales. And also Princess Diana, they were both born in London.
Wow.
On this day in 1984.
Wow.
And so we obviously know that how those stories go. R.I.P. Princess Diana.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm kind of cool with how Prince Harry of Wales went to live his life.
Yeah.
He kind of left things and went to go do his thing.
Yeah, he did, man, for sure.
That was a big risk for him.
A lot of people are getting pretty excited about the royal family and they like to follow that stuff closely. And he's just like, man, I don't really want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
We're going to switch it up a little bit.
I respect that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Everyone's got to go. Do what's best for them, of course. And if you want to do something that's kind of wild, this isn't something I would do, but kind of fun. We got Halloween coming up. If everyone remembers, the classic movie Halloween from 1978 with Jamie Lee Curtis,
Okay.
that house that's in that movie, which is epic, of course. I mean, everyone knows what that house looks like. It's up for sale. It's going for $1.8 million, which honestly I would have thought it would have gone more for a couple of reasons. One, it's California. We see where the housing market's at, and then just the value of it being kind of a superstar movie kind of house. So it's up for sale for 1.8 mil. Art, what do you think about this?
I mean, I would like to walk the property. It's always kind of fun, right? Always, just like I was talking about the treehouse. Like I like seeing floor plans. Like how's it work? In California, did it say what city it's near? Is it near? I wonder, because that depends. It depends on which city it's close to.
Well, I mean, you got like the Full House, is up in San Francisco. I think this is in kind of more of a rural town outside. So I don't think it's Sherman Oaks, but it's somewhere in that vicinity in the greater LA area is my understanding.
Yeah, if you could get away, that might be fun. I don't know about, there's just going to be that energy there, right? Because the movie people associate that's where all these things happen. So I feel like there might be weird energy at the house.
Well, you got a lot of things you got to tangle with here. It's just like the Home Alone house in Chicago, or like I mentioned, the Full House, where Full House was filmed in San Francisco. Everyone wants to go there as a tourist to view it, take pictures of it. The Goonies, same thing, all that stuff. People kind of geek out over it. And so if you own this property and you want to live there and like raise a family there, I don't think that's the way to do it. But if you did have the capital for $1.8 million mortgage, what you could do is Airbnb it. Right? Think about how cool that would be.
That's actually a really good idea, and people would
love it.
They would do that.
It'd be booked a year out.
Yeah, they would do it.
And you could charge almost whatever you want. I'm going to stay in the Halloween house in the Airbnb.
Yeah, who cares if it's expensive? I'm going to be there.
If you had the capital to do that and have a $1.8 million mortgage, Airbnb that shit. That's what I would do.
Yeah, what you do is you Airbnb it to the nerd tourists.
The nerd tourists, because you're going to have the nerd tourists out there taking pictures and shit, probably knocking on the door. That's why I wouldn't want to live there.
So I would agree. I wouldn't want to live there. But now that you brought up that point, I hadn't considered. I would Airbnb that. That would be perfect.
Absolutely.
It'd be a great income.
$300-400 a night, man. You'd be stacked out the whole year. Absolutely.
So if you could live in one famous place, where would it be?
What do you mean famous place? Like
a well-known area. Like what well-known place would you live in?
You mean like, are we kind of staying on the parameters of like these famous houses and locations for filming sites?
Something like that, yeah.
Man, I don't know. There's just so many cool places, I guess. I'd probably want to live at a racetrack, I feel like.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting choice.
So like Texas Motor Speedway has a huge condominium facility off turn 2. And I looked into maybe considering real estate down there and living with my patio looking at a racetrack.
That would be pretty cool.
So that's probably what route I would go.
Okay. Personally, I don't know, man. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a treehouse.
So what, now you're going to have both?
No, I'm just being silly. I don't know. Sometimes I ask questions, and I don't know the answers to my own questions, man.
Fair.
But we do know of a lot of stuff going down this weekend.
That's right.
I'm going to be jealous. I'm a little FOMO about this. I'm a little FOMO about this first one. I'm not going to lie.
Well, if for our longtime listeners, if you remember back on Happy Friday Denver, we actually talked about this when this was announced. Eric Clapton, or as I call him, Eric Clapton, is going to be here in Denver. Tomorrow night, he's here, and my co-host from Mash the Gas Podcast is flying in. I'm picking him up tonight, and we are going to be at this show. He's only doing 3 shows in America. I mean, tickets, if you want to pay ridiculous resale price, you can go, but it's definitely sold out. It's going to be epic to see the 78-year-old, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. He's here in Denver. That's
going to be so much fun, man. And Jeff, welcome into Denver today, my friend. What else we got going on? We got the Coastal Country Jam, and that's Long Beach, California. You know that's going to be a good time. I hope that they got some ocean views on that too. Like where the venue's at, I didn't double check that, but hopefully they got some ocean views.
It's going to be epic for sure. If I'm out in Long Beach, I'm going to want to attend this. There's a lot of great artists. I know Blake Shelton's going to be out there. A lot of some of the the big country superstars that we all know and love are going to be playing it. And you're on a beach. I mean, you're having a good time listening to it. The weather's still good. Definitely enjoy that. And we love music, of course. If you're in Vegas, and you want to listen to some, really, really talented electronic dance music, Rufus Du Sol, a band that's actually originated in Australia. They are in Vegas this weekend, guys. If you haven't heard of them, check them out for sure. Their music is tremendous.
Oh man, yeah. Rufus, they got a whole vibe, and I feel like it's a vibe that's a wave that anyone could catch. Man, if I was out there, I would really want to be at that one on Sunday, man. So we got the Major Cannabis Expo. No wonder you gave that one to me, Kev. Major Cannabis Expo on Saturday, tomorrow, Kansas City, Missouri. Let's, go out there and smell the good smells. Say what's up to Bob Marley for me. Yeah, man.
These cannabis expos are fun. We used to go to them before it was legal here in Denver. It's cool to see because the vendors get to come through. They get to promote their product. They get some placements. People get familiar with some things that are going on in the cannabis world. So if you're out in KC-Mo and you're not watching the Chiefs game, maybe go check that out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and if, you're in Lake Charles, Louisiana area, then you should already know about the decadence that's upon you. If you happen to purchase a ticket and get in here, which I highly recommend, Louisiana Food and Wine Festival all weekend. Going to be delicious tastings. I wonder if they do it the same way that you did it last weekend, where it's like 3 hours every day.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty similar, man. So the Denver Food and Wine Festival, last time you saw us, I was getting ready to pour for that. It was fantastic. Now it's moved down to Louisiana. So it's going to be a similar thing. Southern Glaziers is still going to be a part of it, of course, and a lot of other contributing distributors are going to be down there. Great food. Once you get down into Louisiana, you're going to be eating some fantastic Cajun cuisine. So it's just a fun event, for the folks down there in Louisiana that want to go eat some good stuff. The weather's nice. Man, get out there and give it a go.
Absolutely. And since we're going to talk about what's upcoming in NASCAR really quick, I do want to give a really quick congratulations to Mash the Gas podcast, which is a sister show for the Discussion Combustion Network that is hosted by Kevin Batstone and also Jeff Davis. You guys have been hitting some major milestones, and so I just want to give a quick congratulations. It was like the fantasy top 4 fantasy podcast, and then also which news was it again? Outlet?
FeedSpot.
FeedSpot
Featured us this week as best fantasy podcast of the week.
Congratulations, man, on that.
Appreciate
so
that.
much energy behind that. And there's so much energy behind these cars, too. Where are they going to be going around the track?
Well, so for the folks that do follow NASCAR, we're going to be in Bristol, Tennessee, Saturday night. So tomorrow night, I'll be at Clapton, of course. I'll be keeping an eye on my phone. Going to have to watch it Sunday morning. But this is a big race, guys. This is a big race. The round of 16 is coming to an end tomorrow night. It goes to 12 drivers. Bristol, Tennessee. It's Bristol, baby. It's a fantastic racetrack. Always puts it on for the short track out there in, good old Tennessee. One of my favorites for sure. So if you like NASCAR and you want to listen a little bit more, Mash the Gas Monday nights. I touch on a little bit here on Happy Friday Weekly, but tune in to Mash the Gas. It's not a video deal. It's anywhere you get audio.
It's a great show, impactful, quick paced. Close us out, Kev.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get out of here, Art. Let's go, Art. We appreciate everyone who supports Discussion Combustion and Happy Friday America. Your continued support goes a long way. Be sure to mash that subscribe button here on YouTube. Definitely get in touch with us. Hang out. Get in touch with us on social media. So on Instagram and Facebook, we're at Happy Friday USA. Real simple across the board. Happy Friday USA. And then Twitter/X, we're going to be at Happy Fry, and that's FRI USA on Twitter and X. Definitely going to want to get involved with that because that's where the polls go up every Friday, and you can click your vote. Maybe we should start reading back some of those poll results each week and kind of see where the general public's at.
We should. I think people would be curious. Is that not displayed?
It's displayed on Twitter and X, but for the viewers, then maybe comment below. They don't necessarily see those results. But last week it went 80-20. Maybe that's something we'll work on, in the future. But if you have a segment idea or you want to just give us some feedback, have some fun with us, poke some fun, definitely happyfridayamerica@gmail.com. It's the best way to interact with us outside of social media. We're here every week. We love the Fricashinas. They play us in and play us out every week, as they're about to do right now. Happy Friday, America. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, Friday!